Hi everyone, this is Devleena and welcoming you all to another exciting episode of Icons Behind Brand. And I'm with another iconic guest in the platform. Happy to announce Mr. Mukesh Ghuraiya, who is a Chief Marketing Officer in Modi Naturals, who has over 13 years of experience and has worked with big brands like Rado, Lava, Philips. I'm so excited to have you here, Mukesh, and our viewers are also excited to know you, your leadership style, and about your perspective in marketing and branding. So, a very warm welcome to you here.
Thank you, Devleena. Thank you so much. And I would say excitement is mutual. I'm equally thrilled to be here.
We will talk about your leadership style. We are going to talk a lot about how Modi Naturals are working the branding strategy. But before we get into that, our viewers and me, we would love to know about you, a bit about your background and journey, you as a child, how you have grown up and how you have reached here.
So, yeah, I'll try to convert my long journey into as crisp as possible so that we don't bore people much. About my background, it's been a very straightforward journey, I would say. Not much of drama here and there.
Okay.
I come from Gwalior, so that's my hometown. Born and brought up in Gwalior. For first 23 years of my life, I was in Gwalior. So typical middle class boy from a small town. I was good at mathematics in my school, so I ended up pursuing maths in my higher education, and then engineering was the logical step. So I went for doing my electronics engineering. But sometime during my engineering, I realized that maybe this is not something that I would be comfortable or even I'm good at doing for the next 30, 35 years of my life. So maybe sometime during that point of time, I happened to find my interest in marketing and advertising, and I pursued that forward. So after my engineering, I went on to pursue my MBA in marketing from Micah Ahmedabad, and that was 2009. And after that, for last 13 years, I've been a happy student of marketing into this corporate institution. I have worked across multiple companies and also industries. I started my journey in corporate with the television industry. So I was part of the UTV group. Again, throughout my year, I was extremely lucky to be part of some of the amazing companies. Some of worked with some of amazing people around me and on some very, very interesting project. I was part of the team that launched Bloomberg in India. So that was one of the big launches that was happening in India. That was a JV with UTV Group. So happened to be there at that time. So I spent first 4.5 years in television industry. I worked for UTV, I worked for CNBC. After that, I have worked with smartphone companies and with an Indian smartphone company, Lava Mobile Phone. And again, happened to be at the time when Indian smartphone players were kind of changing the game for handset industry. So I have seen the rise of Indian smartphone players. So again, lucky to be there at the right kind of time and had those immense learnings under my pocket. After that, maybe last couple of my stints have been also, I've always been into consumer marketing space. Last couple of my stints was with PayU Money, or I was also heading the marketing for Rado Watches in India. My last assignment was with Philips India, and currently I head the marketing for Modi Naturals, an Indian FMCG company where I work as a chief marketing officer. So all in all, I would say 13 plus years in various sectors, various industries. So pretty interesting. And I enjoy my work. I like what I do.
And this was Power Pack, Mukesh. Thank you for, taking us throughout. You have worked with big brands, I mean, literally big brands throughout your career. So, step by step, I have a lot of questions for you. So I'm going to come on this step by. So before we get into that, I want to understand about Modi Naturals. See, Modi Naturals have created a good space in the wellness segment as well, and there are a lot of products which are coming, and I'm also one of the consumer. So I would love to know about Modi Naturals first, and then what are the upcoming products and plans and strategies forward.
So Moti Naturals is an Indian FMCG company. While primarily we are I would say an edible oil company. So our core product is olive, which is our flagship product. And we are a pure play edible oil company, and we've been one of the big and serious players in the olive oil space. So we have our portfolio which ranges from extra virgin olive oil, so pure olive oil play, blended olive oil play. In fact, we are the only player which has a blended oil which has a olive oil in it. So that is the
Okay.
unique selling proposition. That's the very fundamental product that we have come out into the marketing. We are the only one in that space. So while the history is that we are an edible oil company, but future is that we don't just want to be an edible oil company, and we have serious aspirations and ambitions to grow our portfolio into a
Okay.
full-fledged FMCG company. And we are on the track to become a kind of a more of a F&B play is what the area that we have
Okay.
identified. So we want
Okay.
to be an F&B FMCG company and also a house of brands. So we have multiple brands under our portfolio, and we are getting into newer and newer categories.
Wow, I think that is great segment to move forward, as not only India, the entire world is moving towards health. They are the even the young generation is becoming very conscious about their health, their products. They're picking their products very keenly. So I think it's a great space. I would love to understand for our viewers as well what kind of target customers you are dealing with right now, what kind of campaigns you are doing to reach out to those target customers.
Okay, so I think the simple answer to that is we follow our consumers. So in terms of identifying that what kind of marketing strategies we have in place, I think the easy answer is that we follow consumer. We are not married to any particular channel or a media funnel, but wherever our consumer is, we try to reach out to those touch points and try to engage with our consumer. I mean, we follow the integrated marketing approach, and we have in our media mix, we do television, we do print advertising, we do outdoors, we do digital influencer marketing, connected television. So we use pretty much all the tools and funnels which are available to our marketeers use to reach out to our consumer in that right set of audience. However, as maybe all of us understand that maybe the digital funnel is growing and growing. And
Yeah.
again, the answer is not because we wanted to maybe increase more money from the digital platform, but also because the consumer has moved to digital platform. So we just simply followed them. So in
Right.
our media mix, of late, yes, we are trying to move as per the consumer growth. Our marketing money is also moving towards the digital ecosystem. Maybe the pie of digital money spent or the dollar spent on digital is increasing in our overall media mix. But again, we follow the multimedia, multi-channel approach and an integrated marketing approach to reach out to our consumer.
Nice. You spoke about influencer marketing as well. Okay, so and I also understand when, particularly about the wellness segment, if it is, if there are influencers, it works wonderfully well because these people are very picky, particular about this. How often do you leverage the influencer marketing? If you shed some of your take on that, some of the details about that.
So influencer marketing to us, I would say, is not campaign based, but it's part of our ongoing media strategy. Influencer marketing is we follow always on influencer marketing strategy. So all 52 weeks in a year, we will have some or the other influencer campaign activated. So we do not follow any seasonality or a occasion to get engaged with our influencers because we have identified, and I'm a strong believer of influencer marketing. So we have made influencer marketing as a core and always on channel in our marketing mix. Why I believe in influencer marketing very strongly is that because, as you rightly mentioned, the consumer is now much more aware and they are looking for stories which they can connect to more or they can relate to more. And this influencer marketing focus on people selling people and not brand selling people. So
Very
hence
true.
this is actually I would say the focus is on the real stories or the real connection which has been used in the marketing communication mix. So I think this is going to continue to do good for us, and it's been an integral part of all our marketing strategies that we have at Movie Naturals.
Mukesh, for our viewers, one more question here, which is popping up in my mind because there are a lot of business owners and startup owners. Of course, marketing professionals are part of our viewers. So, when it comes to influencer marketing, it is a vague term for all of us. So, one question often comes: how to find out the right influencer for my product? So, would you like to talk something about that as well?
Correct. So influencer marketing, as we said, is about talking real stories and finding that real connection with the audience. Now, fundamentally or functionally, influencer marketing could be divided into various marketing terms that we use, which is nano influencer, micro influencer, macro influencer, celebrity
That's right.
influencer. But at the core of it, the influencer is someone who can you connect with. So, for example, as we were discussing, there's a lot of impetus and a lot of focus on people now moving to health and wellness in that space. And fundamentally, in India, we do not understand health and wellness. We are not taught how to take care of our health in our schools or everywhere. The only space we look up to is someone who's maybe slightly evolved in that space. So suddenly there is maybe a health influencer or maybe a food expert or a dietitian. Those kind of people come into the picture who are the expert in that space. So they are not just a popular face or just a Bollywood or a cricket celebrity, but they are the expert of that particular space. So there they become a more big influencer. In technology, it's usually people, the tech journalists, they are the influencer in the technology. So each industry, each segment, each consumer group has certain people which we can connect to more. The other kind of influencer is, or the other kind of influencer space, the way I see we can divide it, not only the expert, but it also are there to have that consumer validation. Because what happens is that brand talks about the benefits, but are those benefits really applicable in the real life? So when I see my friend using a product and he says that yes, in reality this is how you use a product and this fits perfectly well into my lifestyle, he automatically becomes my influencer because I relate to his lifestyle and I relate to him. Yes, my lifestyle is pretty much same as yours. I do pretty much same what you do, and if this product works for you, this will also work for me. So that is the second type of influencers, which are not celebrities or expert, but they are people whom we think that our lifestyle or
we
our
relate to them.
consumption habits, we relate to more, and we give them advantage that if it's working for them, it will most likely work for me as well.
From here, I'll just switch my gear a little into the FMCG segment. You have worked with different segments. I mean, pretty different segments in your careers. From the mobile segment to consumer durables, to FMCG now. So, what are the different marketing strategies, which happened, and particularly how FMCG marketing strategies are different from other marketing strategies, for example, consumer durables and other things?
Honestly, if I give you a short answer to this, there is no difference. Fundamentally, marketing remains the same. I mean, that's the beauty of marketing. The fundamental of marketing is that identify who's your consumer, identify their lifestyle, and try to fit into their lifestyle and identify those touch points and reach out to them. So fundamentally, all the industries, irrespective of the sectors, spaces, or industry they work with, fundamentally marketing remains the same. The core remains the same. However, I also understand that each category or each industry has their own category truth. When I say category truth, is that there are certain nuances which are more prevalent in certain category than maybe in other category. Just to give you an example, for example, I worked in technology space or smartphone, mobile phone space. There we see that a lot of people are influenced through the tech enthusiasts or the tech influencers. So there are technology experts. So there the ratings and reviews of those technology influencers is very important. So people, the consumption, the purchase decision is influenced by going to a YouTube video, watching a YouTube video of a tech reviewer and identifying what's work for them and what's not. So there you have those specific influencers which are very important to your brand building or to your product evaluation. On the other hand, in FMCG, it may not be true because FMCG there's strong impulse purchases, there's different things work for different people, there is taste, there is a color, there is different things that's appeal to different people. There maybe the review may not be that important in a mass FMCG space. It's very personalized. My experience, what worked for me may not work for other. So I may not buy something just because someone is recommending to it, because my taste would be completely different from his taste. So there, I think the influence is very on ground and very personalized. In fact, I was reading a report from Nielsen which says that almost 60% of the influence in an FMCG space can happen on ground at the point of sale, which is huge. So which means for a technology, the influence is happening on YouTube. In FMCG, the influence is happening inside the store.
Okay.
So then Yeah, so my marketing then changes completely, because then maybe I'll focus on getting those right reviews on YouTube and right kind of videos on YouTube. Here I want to focus more on the point of sale. How do I
That's right.
convert that person who is walking through the aisle and browsing through the shelf? Can I do something on the ground to convert that? So those kind of nuances will come into the picture for different spaces, different categories. But as I said, at the fundamental level, it's all about understanding the consumer, irrespective of what space we work in.
Okay, so with this now we are moving to a little lighter section, which is a rapid fire round, which is going to allow us to know you as a person a little more. So, what has been your favorite age so far?
I think my current age, I am my wisest right now. I have a wisdom tooth. So I think
Oh,
my current age is my favorite age.
I have not yet got my wisdom tooth.
Yeah, I've got it. So I am in
I'm
between
just
ages.
waiting. I mean, after that, what will happen?
Right. So I mean, I'm mentally much more stable in my current
Sharper.
age. So I
Awesome.
like my age.
What is your favorite work memory?
I think personally for me, I have made some very good friends over work, and they continue to be my, I would say, lifelong. Those friendships are lifelong friendships. So I think that that's the most beautiful part that happened to me. So I would say that that's the favorite memory I have.
Super. What has changed the most since you started working here in Modi Naturals?
My waistline. I think my marketing, my NPD team makes me taste so many product every day that it has started to show up in my waistline. So I think that has changed completely in last 8 months.
That's a great one, but at the same time, they're coming up with a lot of wellness product and knowledge. So I think that is going to work.
So we're trying to find a balance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So, what advice would you give an employee on their first day?
On a first day, or maybe first couple of days, I would say listen more, observe more, and exude positive energy. Because there are a lot of people who would be trying to form their first impression of you. So put up a good content.
Superb. I think that's a great one. Ish, just not putting any impression, just be there and absorb more. So that is the best.
Yeah.
So if you could not work in this industry, what profession would you pursue?
So I would have loved to take a sport, but I think I'm too old for it right now. I would maybe love to do theater. I've done some theater in my college days,
Wow.
so I think that's pretty interesting to me. So maybe I would love to take up theater.
See, that's a different angle this question brought about you. And there is no, I mean, there is never too late. So please go ahead, please try.
Sure, that could be maybe my retirement plan.
Yeah. When are you most productive?
I think anytime I want to be. I very strongly believe that I have a good control over my emotion and my abilities. So if I want to be lazy completely, I'll be extremely lazy and I'll not give any hoot to it. But time I decide to be productive, I'll organize my capabilities around it and I can be extremely productive. So I think that way I'm pretty in control of my things.
Amazing. I mean, I think that is the balance where everybody's struggling, and I think everybody wants to reach in that particular balance. And I think you might have worked on this, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know if I've worked consciously or unconsciously, but I've experienced it. I can bring my willpower together and I can do my productive best whenever I want.
So, what would you change about yourself?
I don't know if there is anything I would want to change about myself. Also, I mean, I don't believe fundamentally in changing things about it. I think the most important is that the change is always going to come to you. If I change something about myself today, the situation might also change around me.
That's
So
right.
I think instead of changing something, you should learn to maybe adapt to the change. So I'll not change anything, but I just learn to change myself, which I think I constantly try to do.
And this is something where I resonate, because if you ask me the same question, my answer would be same, because I don't want to change anything. But if something is there, then I need to just accept it and I need to go with the flow in a bestest way possible with that. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Take more risk.
Amazing.
I think it's again in the hindsight, you realize that maybe I could have been a little more aggressive. I could have taken more bets or chances. So yeah, that would be learning.
Superb. So with that, we are out of the rapid fire round now.
Great.
Before we wind up this wonderful conversation, I want you to talk about your message to the aspiring marketers who are building, FMCG brand, and what would be your, one message to them?
Very honestly, I don't think I'm suitable enough to give advice to young marketeers because I believe the younger generation is much, much more sharper, focused, and aware than my generation or I am. But if I have to give just a suggestion to all the marketers, not just FMCG company, but all the young aspiring brand managers and marketeers, would be to keep it simple. I think marketing has to be simple. What happens is that sometime in order to maybe justify our higher education or maybe to please our bosses or to stand out of the crowd or justify your high paying job, we over intellectualize things and we make marketing a little complicated. Marketing has to be simple. Consumer do not buy things they don't understand. So one should not over intellectualize, one should not make it complicated. Marketing is extremely simple and it should be kept simple.
Amazing, Mukesh, and it was wonderful having you here. Thank you for coming here, accepting that, and with
Pleasure.
short notice you came here. I'm glad to have you here and one of our subscriber. And I wish you all the very best for your career as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wish you the same.